Welcome back to Mouselip's Chess Channel. Today I want to talk about using Chessable to basically make interactive quote-unquote flashcards for positions in my actual games where I made mistakes. And I want to point out, because I'm going to complain a little bit about Chessable, that I've been a Chessable user since very early in its starting days. Been a member since 2017. And as soon as they offered a lifetime pro membership, I jumped on that opportunity. So I've been a lifetime pro for a number of years. I've seen a lot of improvements on the site, but one thing that I have not seen very many improvements on is the method for creating and adding two positions in your own course. Now, the ideal type of course to make flashcards out of are tactics. So I'm going to step through today my method for using a combination of Skid versus PC and Chessable to create these interactive flashcards. And in the process, you'll see some of the things that look fairly easy for Chessable to incorporate, but they haven't incorporated these into the creation of material, your own material. So let's go real quick. Let's go back to Skid versus PC. This is a game I played yesterday, and I'm playing the black pieces. What happened here was after this move, I fairly quickly played what looks natural, get out of the pin. The threat here is to capture the F pawn, actually, but the pin of the C pawn is the critical point. And I played what I thought was a natural move of king of here, but that allowed the tactic knight takes C7. And now, of course, if bishop takes, then rook takes knight. So I played knight b6 here, which was the correct move. And then after he took, he took, and I played another mistake here. I should have played bishop c5 because his knight is trapped. But instead I played rook d8, allowing c5, and then when exchange happened, he saves his knight, and this is just a lost endgame. But I've already set up a flashcard for that type of situation. What I want to set up is a flashcard for, pardon me, for when I played the mistake of king b7. So the way I do this is I first set a filter to where I'm only looking at that one game. Right now, let me reset the filter. You can see this is all the games. But if I right click on that game and click set filter, now if I drag and drop this filter over onto clip base, it copies that game over to the clip base. Now I've already made my changes here. Basically what you do is you go to the move before your tactic. Like say right here, rook c4 is the move for the tactic. But if in the PGN file, you want to go to the move before rook c4 is played. You right click and you strip moves from the beginning. So all you're left with is the rook c4. Okay, and you set up what should have been played is knight c5. That's the correct move. And then we've got some sub variations. This is what I actually played in the game. And this is what happens. Knight c7, white's winning. I should add that in the comment that white is winning. And also, if knight b6, that just outright loses the knight to the pin. White would be winning there as well. And I wanted to point out, too, that this is a null move, because in this position, he's threatening to play knight takes f6. Because then, whether knight takes here, whether knight takes knight, or pawn takes knight, he's got the pin to where he can recover the piece with rook takes d6, which wins a pawn, or gets a pawn back, I should say, because he's already down a pawn. But this is the PGN, and I got on here that this is a move that would be natural for white to play here, but it's wrong. So this is the PGN that we're going to paste into our flashcard in Chessable. So I'm going to go up here, edit, copy PGN. Then I'm going to go back to Chessable. And I'm going to go to my course, flashcards. I'm going to import from PGN. Switch to copy paste. And I'm going to paste that in. Now, note that this is a tactic for black. You can select the course. So I'm going to select the course. In mine, it's called flashcards. It's going to just go to the main level, show more options. White versus black is what the title is going to be. It says add main line to the bottom. That's okay. And it's already checked, import all sub-variations as their own item, which I do not want. I want all the sub-variations as just comments. So every time I do this, I have to uncheck this. That should be something that sticks, or that I could make selectable to stick. I never want to import all sub-variations as their own item, or I should say I very seldom do. There are times that I want to do that, but in most cases, no. For this course, no. So I should be able to select that, and then the next time I come in, I don't have to uncheck it every time. Okay, now I hit import. Import succeeded. Check it. Yes. Oops. Went too far. Let's go back to the actual one here. Notice that it's set for white. I have to go back in and edit the variation. Go down to more options. And instead of being opening color both, I need to go in and select black. And then update variation. Now it is completely set up. But why not set that to where I could do that in the very first place when I set up the tactic to begin with, that I could select the color that it's going to apply to, not both, not white. I want to be able to select either white or black, and I don't want to uncheck every time that I don't want sub-variations as their own item. So these are things that Chessable could do to make improvements. But let's take a look. If we go back to my course, flashcards, browse, you can see that I have something to learn. I'm going to click learn. It makes the move, and now I don't want to play the king here. I don't want to play the knight here. What I want to do is play this. And then if he plays that, pawn takes, king up, and then it gives me my comments. So I could go back through and click through here what the problems were. Knight b6, knight takes, and the point is that knight takes f6 is threatened. So that is how you set up a flashcard in Chessable, and they really need to make some improvements on this. Thank you so much for watching. I never started recording. Okay, you're going to have to set one up. Ay, 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 ay. Go back to ChatGPT. Chess. Hey, there we are. Is it this under the right thing? Hmm, interesting. Rook B8. That's a computer move. Welcome back to Mouselip's Chess Channel. Stop. Why did it do that? Why are you starting over there halfway? Hold on. No, still not doing it.